So what is up guys, in this video I will show you how to remove objects from your images. In my opinion, this is a simple trick that makes a good photo, an even better photo, or a just amazing photo. I'm gonna show you two ways how you can do it. I don't say you have to do it. Some people will say it ruins the picture or it is not natural anymore. I understand that opinion, but like I said, I think it turns a nice picture into an even better picture, and that's what counts for me. I want the best picture as possible, and that's what I'm doing to get that result. Like I said, there are two ways to do it. The first one is in Lightroom, and the second one you will need Photoshop to do it, but I will start with the first one. So I got this amazing picture from a while ago in the summer, I guess. Yes, it was in summer. And I took this picture of this tower. I really like this image, I really like the edit on it, but in my opinion there are some things that distract the person watching the picture from the subject of the picture. You understand? Probably not, but it will get clearer later in this video. So, I really like this picture. I want to remove the people, and as you can see the sign here, I want to remove these things from the picture so it's more clean and it's just amazing. The first way of how you can remove objects from your images is to use the spot removal tool in Lightroom. So you go to this, I don't know how this is called in English, band-aid thing. So you go to spot removal tool, or you press Q on your keyboard, and you get a brush. You can choose heal or clone. In my case, I want to heal the image, so I'm gonna use heal, but you will see this is not perfect at all. When you have the spot removal tool selected, you can use, if you're using touchpad, you can swipe with 2 fingers up and down to make it bigger or smaller. You make the brush the size you want, and you just paint over the subject or object that you want to remove. I recommend doing this in small portions, because otherwise it will just do random stuff, and that's something you don't want, because it's probably not that good. You see that Lightroom works its magic. So you see that Lightroom is trying to heal the image, but as you also can see, it's not that perfect. If the heal brush is not working for you, you can use the clone tool. So the clone tool is the same thing as the heal tool, but this takes the part that is similar to the part that you are removing, or that Lightroom thinks is the same background as something in the area of the object that you're removing. So you also paint over the object, and it will probably try to find something similar, but yeah, I don't think I have to say anything more on that. The clone and the heal tool in Lightroom is perfect for like skin retouching, I don't know, for fixing the skin or healing the skin or doing minor adjustments. But I recommend, if you want to remove complete objects or remove certain things from your image, I recommend doing the second way of removing things. I don't know how many times I already said removing or image or picture, so I have to count. I don't know. So let's continue to the second way of removing an object from your image. So for the second way, we're gonna use Photoshop. So we're gonna right click on the image and edit in Adobe Photoshop. When it's loaded, and it can take a while, as many people know, Photoshop is taking forever to load. I hope it doesn't take too long now.
2 days later.
So now that Photoshop is loaded, we can continue with the second way of removing objects from your images. In Photoshop, we're gonna use two main tools. You can use other tools, but I mean, I'm going to show the best ones. The first one is the Lasso tool. So you select the Lasso tool, you zoom into your object that you want to remove, and now I recommend again to do this in small portions, in small pieces, because otherwise, if you can try to do it in one time like this, but you will see that it's far from perfect. So you select the object that you want to remove and press the delete key. You get this pop-up with fill, you want to select content aware. Probably it's already selected, but make sure it's content aware. Leave all the settings as default and press OK. Now Photoshop will work his magic on deleting the object, but again, you see it's not perfect. It's not kinda close to what we want. So I'm gonna undo this. So now I'm gonna try to delete it with content aware by doing small portions. I'm gonna start with the head. Like this, press delete, content aware. And I know it's still not good, but if you do it a couple times. So yeah, you can see it tries to simulate the background, and you can do this many times until you are satisfied with your result. Overall it's kinda working. So for the sake of this tutorial I'm not gonna do it completely, but I'm just gonna do a small part just to demonstrate. So this is the lasso tool. You can also use it on like this this little board. I want to remove it. Try to be so close to the object as possible. So press delete, content aware. Alright, so now you can see it is not perfect. You can obviously see if you zoom in that there was something there, or it just doesn't fit. But if you zoom out, you probably are removing objects, or I advise you to remove objects only if they are distracting and further away in the picture, so not the main subject. As you can see, it just, you don't see it if you wouldn't know there was something there on the stairs. For the second tool you can use in Photoshop is the clone stamp. You can find this here under the brush, the clone stamp tool. So you press the Option key on Mac or the Alt key on Windows. You pick a place you want to duplicate, because it's literally duplicating some pieces and pasting it somewhere else. So you have full control on what you want to copy and paste from background. So I'm gonna take this one because I want to put clouds where the person was. So I'll press holding Option, click, and now I can paint literally the clouds on the person. And slowly I am removing the object from the image. So as you can see, it works pretty good, and it's a very simple way of removing objects from your image. In my opinion, the best way to remove objects from your image is to combine these two tools into one workflow. Like, you first use the lasso tool. I will show you. You first use the lasso tool to remove an object like this. Alright, content aware. I'm gonna just do this, oops, like this, remove it. Okay, content aware. Alright, I'm just gonna do this like this. So you can see it's not perfect yet, but now we're gonna use the clone stamp to copy these leaves and paste it over this strange wooden thingy that it's pasted. And now you can see, you wouldn't say there was a person there, it's just the tree. And yeah, I think it's pretty nice. So you can do this to remove objects from your images. So as I said, combine these two tools. It's the best way of removing objects from your picture. You can use the clone and heal stamp for the little parts, but if you want to remove bigger objects from your image, use Photoshop. It's way more advanced and way easier. And yes, I just think it's awesome. So you can use this simple trick of removing objects from your image to just snap your viewer to the subject of the image and make sure he or she doesn't get distracted by random signs or objects in your images. Finally, when you have removed all the objects from your image, you can just press Command S or Control S and your image will be saved into Lightroom. As you can see, your image is saved as a TIFF file, and you can do final adjustments in Lightroom if you want to. I would recommend to do all the Lightroom adjustments before you take it into Photoshop. So the last thing you should do is just export your images now and you're done. If you want to know how to upload landscape images to Instagram and still get as much engagement as possible, please check out my last video. I talked about it and I show you how you can do it. I will link it in the description or up here, and I will see you guys in the next video.